Today we're going to create a project where we can have our sprite, for example our cat, collide with a color. This is going to help set it up so that we can make our maze where you'll have a path that you need to stay on, and if you go off the path onto a color, you're going to lose. We're also going to learn how to get our sprite to a particular part of the screen, how to get it to move to that spot. So the first thing I want to do is create a backdrop, a new backdrop, so that I have not just a white backdrop, I have some new color. So I'm going to go into, I clicked on the paintbrush, and when I have the paintbrush I have two backdrops. I only need one, so I'll click X for that. I'm going to use the rectangle, and when I choose the rectangle I'm going to choose a color for part of my background. Well, in my case I have a cat, and cats don't like water, so I'm going to make my rectangle blue so that we don't want the cat to go into the water. If we do, then the cat's upset. So I choose blue, and then down here I need to make sure that I choose a solid rectangle instead of just an outline of a rectangle. Now I'll go up to the corner and I will color half of my screen that color. Great. I'm going to use the escape key to make it stick to the background. Good. Now I'm going to click on my sprite and I'll move it off of the blue and I'll create a script for this cat. I'm going to have the cat move around on the screen using arrow keys. We might not have learned how to do that yet, so I'll show you how to do it really quickly. You go into Events and we choose when the space key is pressed, and instead of the space key we want to use the up arrow. When the up arrow is pressed, I'm going to go into motion. I want the cat to point in direction up, and I want it to move 10 steps. So now if I use the up arrow on my keyboard, the cat moves up, but it switches direction. I don't want it to do that, so I'm going to go to the eye on my sprite and change it so it just turns left and right. So now when I press the up arrow, it stays pointing in that direction. Perfect. I can do the same thing by copying this and changing it for the down arrow, the right arrow, and the left arrow. I'm going to go up to my stamper to duplicate, click on it, and then click on the orange part of my event. So now I have a second one, which I'm going to change to the down arrow and point in direction down, and then I'll stamp it again, and I'll change this to the right arrow and point in direction right, and stamp it one more time and change it to the left arrow, point in direction left. So now I can move my cat up, down, left, and right. Now I want to set it up so that if the cat touches the blue, it loses and it goes back to a starting point, which is down here. As I move this cat, notice, or if I move my cursor, notice that these numbers change, the X and Y position. This whole screen is an XY coordinate. The very center of the screen is point X0, Y0. Okay, so coordinate point 0, 0. If I move my cat to that spot, can't quite get it on 0, 0, you'll notice that over here it will show you what the character's current X and Y is. So to start it down on the bottom, I'll move it where I want it to be, and I can see what these X and Y values are. I'm going to end this video right now, and you move on to the next video and we'll show how to get the cat to move onto the blue and cause it to go back to the beginning.